Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast. My name is Nick Miller and I want to wish you all listeners out there a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year as we are jumping into 2025 this week. I hope that you had a good holiday season. I know that it can be hard for some and joyous for others, but I am sitting here with my cup very, very filled. I am very excited about this month and what is happening here in 2025. I just had a week with my family all in my house. It was fun. It was kind of stressful, but as is with family, we had a good time with Christmas. Love spending Christmas with my children, just seeing their faces and the excitement that they have with all the things that we do. Coming up in 2025, man, we are here in just a couple of weeks. I am heading to Phoenix, Arizona, the Scottsdale area, and we will be having our Mastermind retreat. And then at the end of the month, I will be heading into Cabo to film a wedding that I am very, very excited about. It is going to be incredible. One thing that we're doing on today's podcast, as our mastermind, we are opening up enrollment in just a few short weeks. I want to let you know that we are retooling the program. We are changing the program. We have observed and listened to our students, and we are doing stuff different to maximize our time together. We are really excited to officially announce all of the things that we are going to be doing with Mastermind in 2025. But before we announce all of that stuff, which we will be doing very, very soon, head over to howtofilmweddings.com/mastermind where you can join the waitlist. Here it is. We have lessons and discussions and talks on branding, website, shooting, editing, sales, all social media, all of the things that we do to run our businesses, we focus in on, and it is going to be an incredible year for you. So if you are interested in growing your business, if you are interested in going further, faster, head over to howtofilmweddings.com/mastermind. What we're doing on the podcast today is I'm actually pulling a recording from one of our recent masterminds. It was an after the fact Q&A session. One of our students asked what John has been up to and how he's been getting all these bookings. Because if you've paid attention to John's Instagram account, he is, I don't know, he's rejuvenated John Bunn Films, and he's added some photo and he's booking a lot more, and how's he doing that and all those things. And one of our students asked about that. So he sat down for about 45 minutes with a group of students, and he was just talking to them about what he is doing here. And we thought this was really valuable information to put out there into the world. So how this episode is going to work, I'm going to throw it over there, and it is just a live Zoom recording. So you might hear some other people's voices in it. No, you definitely are going to hear some other people's voices in that. But John is just answering questions about what he is doing in his business, adding photography, how he's doing sales, how he's connecting with these people, and how he is selling to others. And I think it's really good information for you. And this is one where you could take some notes and you could learn some stuff. And we wanted to share that with you. So I am going to throw this episode over to that recording that we did in Mastermind, and then I will wrap things up at the end. But again, if you want to get on that wait list to be a part of conversations like this, head over to howtofilmweddings.com/mastermind.
Hallie had asked the question about what I've been doing, and I haven't had time to put together presentations and different things, but I'm an open book on what I've been doing, how hard I've been working, extra hard. I've booked a little under 6 figures of work for next year in the last 2.5 months. Thank you. That's not a humble brag. It's just what's been going on. I've added photography to what I offer. That was a long time coming, and I'm really excited to be putting out content next year about how I added photo. Some of you guys care about that, some of you don't. But everything has changed since 2023 into 24 with bookings and stuff. And it's hard on the fly to be like, let's talk about that. So it's more of a Q&A on that. Hallie, I'll let you kind of communicate what you've been seeing or what questions you have. And then if anybody wants to chime in, feel free. But I'm kind of in experimental mode, and happy to open up about anything I've been doing. In the last, since the beginning of November, I think I've posted 30 times on Instagram. I've been on there every day. I've been going hard on following new people, doing new stuff, getting out there, doing all kinds of free shoots to add photo, just trying to create momentum in my brand. And it's really worked. I'm getting 2 to 3 inquiries a day right now, which is way up for me. So, what's up, Hallie?
Awesome. No, I really appreciate you talking about this because I think it's been really cool watching you be like, I feel like every morning it's like, oh, there's John Bunn, booked another wedding, booked another wedding, booked another wedding. And obviously
Thanks.
we just like really love learning from you. And I think it's really cool how like you're just transparent. Like going from your podcast a couple months ago, it's like, oh no, is John okay? Like I'm just kidding. But like, no, it's just like watching it go kind of on autopilot. And I'll be honest, I feel like I've kind of coasted a little bit like this year. We got kind of slammed this summer and then fall with just like more than just business things, it's personal stuff too. And so I feel like our business has kind of been a little bit more on autopilot. So like literally a lot of it's been resonating with me. I'm like, man, yeah, I need to really like kick back into gear and go into a lot of this stuff. I guess there's a lot of different questions I feel like we could have, and I'm really good at asking questions. So just people can chime in. I want this not to just be like Hallie asks for a million questions. I think the biggest thing I'm interested in learning is like what's kind of changing in your booking process. Like what did you find wasn't working, and what did you need to like go back and change to find this like momentum and like converting leads or generating leads?
Yeah, the main thing that changed was my prices.
Okay.
Um, I think that we were eating from an all-you-can-eat buffet from like 2019 to 2022 in my business, where it was just like, I'll pick and choose that. Oh, there's steak, I'll take some of that. And then I feel like it was like, okay, we're going out on this trek now. We've got our pack and we've got this much food and we're running out and we need to go figure out how to make more food. It's kind of, and there's no longer the all you can eat buffet in my market. So I had to just come to the grips that it's like, I can't keep turning down really high quality leads that have a $12,000 budget instead of an $18,000 budget. I need to change up. And I've booked lots of $15,000 plus weddings in these weddings that I've been booking. I think I just got a little cocky and confident. And How to Film Weddings makes me a full-time income. And so like I've had to balance that. Like I don't not want to be doing weddings. I want to be doing a lot of weddings so I can be teaching you guys what I'm doing or the audience. And so I needed, after 15 years, a couple of years to not be pushing so hard. And that to me was 23 and 24, basically. And that just so happened to coincide with the market shifting a lot. I don't know if you guys have felt the market shift a lot or feel like people are a lot more tight on their dollars. And then, I mean, without waxing political, there's no more election, and whether or not you're happy or that Donald Trump won, I think people are very optimistic with him winning about the economy in the globe. And like that or not, I mean, just economy only. And I'm not here to get into any of that, but people are the market is showing that people are like, okay, cool. We trust that money is going to go up at the least with this guy in office. It's kind of how I think most people are like, well, okay, whatever. And so with all that being said, I changed, like July is whenever I was on vacation and kind of was like, oh shoot, I don't have anything booked for 2024. I have one more booking for, I'm sorry, I don't have any more anything booked for 2025. And then I did the text message to a bunch of planners and said, hey, I booked an $8,000 wedding that turned into a $10,000 wedding that I just put out and walked you guys through last week or whatever. Um, but my whole mode on the speed of what I'm producing and putting out there um, changed to being like, I'm a content machine, and the brand of John Bunn Films needs to be out there every day, following new people that are in my market. I've followed about 600 new people on Instagram. They are all sorority people and friends of people that I've been doing weddings for. It's like, hey, babe, just so you know, I'm following a bunch of college girls online. I'm not looking at them, just so you know. But that's my ideal market is the Chi Omegas from Oklahoma or Oklahoma State or wherever. And so I just got really strategic about like every one of Emma, the bride from the November wedding. It's like I followed all of her bridesmaids, and within their bridesmaids, I went in and looked at all their profiles and followed all their friends that matched that, and within all their friends followed those friends, and started getting new and new followers and people saying, "Oh, they did Emma's wedding, cool." And I've gone from like 11.1 thousand to 11.5 thousand followers in the last 3 months. And that also coincided with me saying, the truth of the matter, and I would not publicly communicate this to everyone in the How to Film Weddings world, is that like I believe video is a necessity, not a luxury, but the market does not believe that. And it, I've spent 15 years trying to make people want video whenever they don't see the value in it. And I'm going to continue to educate people on that value. But at the end of the day, people put way more of a value in general on photo than they do video. And for me, I've always wanted to do photo, and it just aligned. It was the right time for me to say, I'm going to put myself out there and do photos that will give me something to be posting. And I will be able to go, I can go do free shoots, and I already know how to use Lightroom, and I already do photo. Um, AI just released all their things for Lightroom and all, like, it's just like the timing is right. I can edit photos quickly. I can be out in the world. I can be sharing that and so I just, my whole mindset changed. Like, I'm putting more of me on the feed. I'm putting more of my life on the feed. I'm just showing up every single day. I mean, and posting something. And with photo being added, I just reached out to only ideal couples that I've worked with in the past. And I said, "Hey, can I give you a free photo shoot? I'll come to you. I'll get you the images. I'll do whatever." And I've done 16 photo shoots since November or September 27th. And I've just been working my tail off. Like, I mean, I'm meeting people. It's like 3 photo shoots in a day. I'm going and I'm learning. Uh, I've purchased a lot of Caitlin James's courses, and I've learned how to a deep dive on editing and then AI editing and then like all these different things I'm learning. But what it has done is it has, I did a session for Molly and Tanner, and they shared and invited me as a collaborator, and 40 of their friends followed. And I'm like, "Hey, do you want photos? Do you want?" And now people are paying me to do sessions. But it's also gotten people to book me for photo weddings, and then they've added video on top of that, and then people are just seeing the art that I produce, and photos just so much freaking easier than video. It just is, especially if you're an extrovert like me and like posing people. It's like, I mean, this is just so much easier. Uh, and then I found out Imagine.ai or Imogen changed my life. I literally uploaded 3,000 of my edits, and then they were like, "Here's your AI profile." And I was like, "Here, new session. Let me drop that over there." And then I went and ate dinner in my kitchen with my family, and I got an email saying, "Your 1,000 images are edited." And I was like, "Wait, what?" Hardly any changes done. So anyway, I think it's just been my mindset towards John Bunn, the brand. I've been putting so much into how to film weddings that it's just like I've been letting John Bunn Films kind of, and it's a hard balance for me because it's like I want to put everything into both, but I need to put everything into John Bunn Films so that I can put everything into how to film weddings. And that kind of got out of line for me. And so I decided, hey, I'm taking back my edits. I've had bride and groom video edit one of my films. It was great. I edited the only other one since then. I edited Canada, and I'm planning on having bride and groom edit my Atlanta film in January. But getting deep in there, showing people the behind the scenes of my process, like literally just saying, if John Bunn was hired to market John Bunn, what would he do every day? So anyway, I've been talking for a long time. That's kind of what changed. Um, I don't know if that sparked any other thoughts or questions, or compliments are always appreciated too.
No, I mean, I do think your photos are great. I think it's been really fun to watch, and like, yeah, you're killing it. So keep that up.
Thanks.
A lot of praises on that. Um, would you say that like a lot of your bookings are people wanting photo and video, photo only? They're like video clients adding photo. Like, what would you say your percentage of businesses is including photo now that you're kind of offering it?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people. I'm asking them for the group because I'm sure a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know our numbers, but yeah, it's pretty popular for sure. Photo is,
Yeah.
and it's easier.
Yeah. Photo is easier on the back end. It's
Yeah.
harder, I think so, during a couple of times during the day. But I filmed a proposal this weekend, or I photographed one, I mean. They paid me $1,000 and I photographed a guy propose to his now fiance. And then I went over to Southern Hills Country Club where they host the PGA Championship. It's really ugly. And was like, "You guys want to go out in the perfect fall weather and get some photos?" And they're like, "Yep." And I did all of that, dropped all the photos into Imagine.ai and got all the images back. I did go through every single image since it was a paid and like fine-tune details with AI and different stuff. But I spent maybe 3 hours total uh, and made $1,000. It's done. They're happy. They invited me as a collaborator. I got all kinds of new followers. Um, but the weddings that I've booked officially weddings, I booked one photo wedding in Houston for, let's see how much that one is for. That one is for 7,500 just for a Friday rehearsal dinner and a wedding day. Um, that's the one. And then I booked a Cancun one for photo for 6,000 plus travel. Um, and that's in September. And then uh, I booked a video and photo one for June for 21,000 for video and photo. Um, so those are the three photo bookings that I've got. And then I have one, two, three, four, 9 total bookings for next year that are video. So, I mean, three of those, two of those are video photo or whatever. So 9 total bookings. Um, so that's where that's at. And yeah, it's like 87,000 of bookings with those with an average of somewhere around 12,000 per wedding still. Um, and my average 2 years ago was like 16,000. So I've lowered the prices, and my goal with some of these would be to upsell certain things. One of them is like a $7,500 video that's solo or something, or I can't remember without going back and forth. But the idea for me and what I'm looking at is 2025 would be a rebuild year. Um, and I did enough sessions of photo to be able to show I do photo. Like I haven't done weddings, and the people that I've booked that are having me do weddings have gotten an incredible deal, but I'm not doing any more incredible deals. If somebody like I have 6 full galleries of shoots that I've done on my website that I was working on this morning, that I will be publishing to add photo to my website officially. But the idea for me, whether or not you're going to add photo or not, I know you do photo specifically, is I just knew I had to get out and create content and get it on the internet. I've been meeting with my friend Joel once a month for coffee and cameras, is what we call it. And we go get coffee. We both have cameras, and then we walk outside and do headshots for each other. And just being able to say, I'm here with this person doing this thing and showing people that my just my life, more of what I'm doing, people have really um, enjoyed that, the right people. Um, and so, yeah, I'm hungrier, I guess so, for the bookings. And now I'm starting to get less hungry because I was looking at my payment schedules, and there's $6,000 to $8,000 a month coming in every month until September, just for John Bunn Films and Photo right now. And so for me, I'm like, okay, I can tap the brakes. I don't need to just book everybody. I feel like from now until June is very solid. And so anyway, it's been a process, but I feel like I knew I needed to do photo. I bought a photo camera. I bought a flash. I've been practicing with that, been doing free shoots till I got comfortable. I feel very confident now to do any engagement shoot, bridal shoot, couples shoot, like no problem. I know exactly how to do it and be effective. And a lot of people are like, whether it's photo or video or whatever that they're adding, they just are like, well, when I get good at it, that's when I'll offer it. And when me and Nick were in Guatemala, he was like, yeah, me and Jen were talking, and we just don't know how you can just say, I do photo. Like, how you do that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And it's like, well, I'm not going to book anybody for probably 6 to 9 months out from now. And I'm giving them like 7 grand for their wedding photos, which it pays for me to do it and to learn. But like, I mean, you can't really expect like the most perfect wedding photos at that rate. So for me, my mindset to 2025 is I'm a marketing machine that is showing people my life, and I am a character that they can follow and see all my travels and see. I don't know if you saw the little clip I put together of me in Guatemala, or it's like I'm looking at John Bunn as the brand, and people are like, oh, I relate to that guy, or I don't relate to that guy. Because being a middle-aged dude in weddings, it's just like you just want to make sure people aren't like, well, that guy's creepy. And there's a fine line with following certain people and being like, you're gorgeous. Would you like me to take some photos of you? uh, you got to have some tact or you get put on the creeper list. But um, so anyway, yeah, all that has caused more bookings and allowed me to say, I just booked this wedding in this location. I booked a wedding in Italy. I booked a wedding in Arizona. I just booked one last night in Lake Placid, New York, and in Boston and Atlanta and Arizona. And like it starts to be like, whoa, John's. And it's not as much per wedding, but I'm looking at 2025 in the market as a rebuild year. And I'm going to ride that wave so that when 2025 gets here, I'm going to have 8 or so photo weddings under my belt, all the galleries I need, my website ready to go, the relationships ready to go, and 8 or 10 new wedding films that I'm editing right now the Guatemala proposal, and I'm just going extra on it. And it's just like, that's my mindset is like, I'm getting paid decently well to create the marketing material I need for the year 2026. So.
Sure. This is my last question, but like, is there any on the back end other than like lowering prices? Like, are you still going through the same process of like how you're proposing, how you're presenting pricing, and like how you're trying to like lead them into the booking process? Or do you find that like the price sensitivity also needs a little bit of a different process in terms of like whether or not to put pricing on your website or like how to kind of talk to them? Like, are you just sending it up front? All the things.
Yeah. I'm still using custom proposals with 3 packages, with the top one being the first one, the anchor, leaning them into hoping they do the middle option. Um, and and before any meeting, I'm always like, hey, like so before this year, I was like, my starting rates are 18,000. Like that's what I would lead with, and people would be like, oh, okay, I'm out. For like 99%, and that was cool with me. I had 7 bookings this year or whatever. Um, Now I'm leading with what a 1 day solo shooter rate would be for them with no travel. So I'm saying my prices start at 8,500, and that weeds out a lot of people. Um, Almost everybody that has booked a solo shoot type or come in for a solo shoot is booked 2 shooters. Like the one I'm booking last night into tonight was 14.5 for just video for a rehearsal, dinner, and wedding day, and they're paying travel on top of it. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of leading with, hey, or the starting rate for, if someone's like asking for prices, whatever, like I'm leading more with, yeah, here's the starting rate for local weddings. And if people want to meet, that's great. And then also if it's a couple I know I really would want to work with, I'm like, hey, you tell me what your rate is and I'll see if I can work with it. Because again, I'm looking at like the couples that aren't engaged yet for 2026. Like those are the people I'm really wanting to charge more for. And I'm cool with working a little bit harder this year, but nothing has really changed. As far as, and I've been recording a lot of these calls. I just haven't booked some of them, so I don't want to share them until they're booked. But I record all of my calls and I'll drop more of them into the feed. But yeah, I mean, like the wedding I just booked for 20K for video and photo. I made sure mom was on the call to start with, and mom and bride, they said they had an 8,500 budget and they booked video for 12.5. And then I was like, just so you know, I do video or I do photo, and gave them recommendations of other photographers. They came back a few days, maybe a week later, and was like, hey, your photos are really awesome. It's like, hey, thanks. And they're like, what would you do? We've been quoted, this much. And I was like, I would do that for another 7,500. and have 3 people instead of 4, one video, one photo, one in between. So I've been like trying to customize things, but I don't have like, here's my photo package price. Um, I build them custom. I mean, I know that a solo shoot for video for 8 hours for one day is an $8,500 range, and solo photo is somewhere in a little bit less than that. But I'm gauging with them their ballpark price and just giving a lot of people have just given a really honest, like, hey, 2024 hurt uh, for a lot of us, and this is what I would have charged you for 2025, but I'll charge you this for 2025. And they're like, whoa. Um, so I don't know. I haven't, it's hard because I feel like sales is something I'm so naturally prone to doing that I need to probably just post some of my um, calls so you can be like, oh, that's what he did. Do you feel like you're pretty naturally good at it, Holly?
I think Luke and I, because we'll try to be on a call if it's like they're interested in both photo and video. So we kind of feed off each other, and I think it's hard when there's like 4 people, 2 people trying to sell. One person's kind of leaning into one area, the other's leaning into another. So I think that's an area we can work on. I would like to get our closing rate up, especially if we're hopping on a call, because I feel like we're definitely missing something, and it's hard to know exactly like what that is, whether we're not keeping the ball enough, or because sometimes you're talking and you're like, okay, that was a lot. Like you want them to have that time to process. So I feel like we're letting go of the ball. But yeah, it's definitely an area I think watching videos and seeing you do it more could be good. I mean, I've watched I can't remember if I've missed some of the more recent ones, but I watched the two of them I know you've posted.
Yeah, I probably haven't posted enough of them in the last few months. It's been kind of crazy, but I can easily like email some of them to you as well. But for me, my mindset is meeting one, I'm setting the tone of like, I'm your big brother, I'm your helper. I'm not here to sell you crap you don't need. And the point of today is for you to see if you get the warm fuzzies about me being at your wedding and my vibe, more so than the price. But I'm very confident in like saying, hey, after, it's like 8,500 or whatever is starting rate for a solo video. Um, you're probably going to need 2 shooters. And at that venue in Oklahoma, you're probably around 12 to like with the bride that I booked for 12.5, I was like probably 12 to 14 range for what you need, but let me crunch some numbers. But that's going to give you a ballpark. I'll give you a few different options. How does that budget range hit you? Is that over the budget? Is that right on? And the mom was like, that's right on, but don't like feel like you can't charge more if you need to do more stuff. Like, and I was like, oh, okay. So my top package I offered them was like 15 that had stuff that I knew that they didn't have to have. And then my middle package was 12.5. And they were saying their budget was 10 to 12, then 12 to 14, I said, and then there it was like, okay. Um, but I'm slowly, I used to just the last few years be like, here it is, here are the packages. I wasn't as hungry. In October, there was this wedding that happened in Palm Springs that like the most gorgeous couple, the most gorgeous venue. I quoted them $24,000 for it, like in February. And like they were like, yeah, our budget's only like 15. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And then I watched the wedding happen and I was just like, man, I should have done that wedding for 15K. Like I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. It's like the one that got away. The most beautiful couple. But anyway, I say that to say like, how hungry am I for that specific wedding? And like the couple I just booked last night into this morning for 14.5, like they were also getting quotes from another wedding filmmaker. And I didn't say like how much are they charging or anything like that. I just was like, hey, this would typically be this much. I know, and I'm more than them. I charge more than them, but it's like if you like them better, go with them. Like doesn't hurt my feelings. But this is what I can provide for you. This is the price. It would usually be this much. And like on the proposals, it says like 18.5 and it's like striked out with like a 14.5. So they're seeing that kind of stuff. But the call happened and I said, what I'm going to do from here is put together this proposal. I'm going to send it to you. I got right off the call, made the proposal, sent it via text and email, and said, when, like Monday, we'll follow back up, whatever, we can talk more Monday. They sent me a couple questions over the weekend, which I responded to. They sent me a question yesterday about home digitization, and I sent her an audio message. I was like, they're leaning to, I can tell they're almost there. Like I'm almost there. And then last night he sent me an email with like 6 questions on it, and not bad ones, but like, what do you do about this? How does this work? Whatever. And I came in here at 8:30 and was like, I wrote out everything and I said, what it sounds like you want is this. And I literally wrote out exactly what I thought that they wanted. If that's what you want, I'm your guy. And they responded, thanks so much for the quick response. You're reading us in exactly what we want. We don't know how we would do our wedding without you. Send us the contract. It's like done. And that's more work than I usually would have to do. But it
Yeah.
gets me excited because I love winning people over and I love serving people like that. And then on the backside, with all the editing I've been doing with photo and color grading and the weddings, and I just feel momentum of I was able to export out like 6 or 7 more reels from the wedding that I did in November that I haven't posted yet that are saved in my phone. So I'm building up this queue of all these things I've been saying everyone should do for a while, but I haven't been able to do because I haven't had as many weddings. And so I would assume I will go hard for a few years and then pull myself back a little bit again and start raising prices as the market changes.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I feel that too, though. I do feel, and I'd be curious for a lot of other people too. Like it just feels like it's more work to get the bookings. It's just been, yeah.
Photo is a cheat code for me.
Yeah.
Tyler, you and Mackenzie just do video, right? Yeah. Does anybody else here do photo too? Yeah. Photo is a cheat code. I used to offer photo. I had a Nina Chappelle was her name, work for me doing photo. Jordan does both. Um, but yeah, photo's been a cheat code for me, just to get people like, for lack of better terms, people put more value on photo. And for me, like where I'm at and how much I enjoy taking photos, like I see myself doing something not the same creative style, but more like how Eric Floberg does, um, where it's like some videos, some photos, um, and kind of explore both of those things. And I really want to learn enough about photos so that I could communicate to people via how to film weddings, what I'm doing with photo. I did a poll the other day and it was like 55% of our audience does photo as well. I'm like, oh, that's more than half. Um, but that doesn't change, like, to me, I feel like what I bring to the how to film weddings world is mainly in the business and the sales and, creativity, of course. But um, so anyway, all that to be said, I've gotten like this momentum starting to build from saying yes to certain things I wouldn't have and like fighting for them. And the photo shoots have just been so easy for me to be like, the weather's going to be good. Meet me over here. It's going to be 30 minutes editing these photos. I have cool imagery. And The other side of it that I feel like changes really a lot is looking at my stories on Instagram as like the peephole into my world and creating the most beautiful version of that without it being fake. So it's not just like randomly like, here's a picture with me and my dog, but it's just like everything that I'm posting has a feel of who I think I'm trying to sell to. So is this helping anybody? Is this weird? Is helping? Okay, cool. What questions does anyone else have? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious. In the start of the year, I was going to go heavy photo and video because I have 5 years of wedding photo under my belt moving into video.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of feedback I was getting was to focus on just video. And I felt uncomfortable with that because I still like photo. So, do you have any future plans of how you're going to communicate that to your clients on your website? Um, I'm decided for Instagram, I'm just going to post. Like, I'm going to be posting both, hopefully have enough work for both, and just
I've
hopefully
just
it looks
gotten,
consistent.
I've personally gotten to a place where I realize that for me, what matters most is following the Stanton Giles rule of following the breadcrumbs that get me excited. And the idea of doing photo at a wedding is terrifying and so exciting to me. And I very much just know I'm good at it and really enjoy it. And I know how to compose and I know how to, I know color better than most photographers. I understand light and shaping light. Like I have all these tools. And then I'm sitting here walking into these weddings with 8 bags and trying to get my crap together. And photographer's like, I'm ready. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
this
I
is,
feel that.
so I don't know. For me, it was like a lot of people would be like, well, let me get the brand all the way ready and spend all this time and effort to get the website perfect and stuff. For me, I knew I needed to walk through 100 days of just testing the waters. And that's exactly what I did. I've done so many different shoots. It's like, oh, I hate the first shoot that I did. I mean, it's fine. The poses and stuff are cool, but the colors, all this, it's like, it's good, not great. But now the stuff I did this last weekend, like, oh, this is right on. And maybe in a few months I'll be like, ugh. But um, for me now, this morning, I spent 2 hours this morning adding photo to my website. I haven't published it yet, but just kind of getting it. And I actually published it and was like, mobile's not ready yet. It looks bad, but I don't care. And then I was like, I should probably pull this off. Like, I'm that guy that's like, just go. We'll figure it out as we go along. Not like random. It's very strategic, but I know that the only way to know what kind of stuff I want on my website is to walk through 100 days of it. And so I can't update my website if I don't have photos. And I just needed to get on Instagram and say, who wants a free photo shoot? Who wants a, I mean, I've DM'd probably 100 people. Would you want a free photo shoot? Would you like, and people are, sorry, I can't do it. I'd love to, maybe in the spring, maybe. And so now I feel like I have my bearings straight to say, this is the kind of photography I want to do. These are the sessions that I've done so far. I've got 6 of them that I'm really proud of. I've done 16. Um, and of those 6, I think that really shows my ability to pose, the personality, the color. And if someone's like one person that booked me for the Cancun wedding was like, can I see a full gallery of your wedding photos? And I was like, I've told you from the beginning, I haven't done a full wedding. That's why you're getting photos for $7,000. Uh, I'm will if you don't want that, that's fine. I totally understand. But I think you're by the time your wedding gets here in September, I'll probably have shot 5 or 6 of them, and you're gonna have the best deal of the year. And she was like, send me some of your full links to your sessions. She's like, I love them. I trust you. Let's go. I'm like, okay, cool. Um, and so for me, I will update my site and get photos on it and see how that feels for a while. Like I updated my form to book me. Do you want video, photo, or both? Instead of like I added that, and people are like video only, both, or so it's just telling them, oh, photo, and then they're looking on my site like, where's the photo? And so it's like I need my logo says wedding videographer. It's called John Bunn Films. Do I want to change that? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm booking a bunch of weddings without changing anything, and I don't care. Like that's my mode. That will drive some artist purists crazy. But like it's that whole meme that I saw the other day where it's like it was someone throwing darts at a dartboard. Have you guys seen that one? Where it's like the beginner and it's like just scared to throw the dart, and then there's another like it's a 3 stack video, and then it's like intermediate, and the middle one's like throwing the dart and missing it a couple times, and it says advanced, and the advanced is like throwing darts, misses like 40, and then hits the bullseye, the bullseye, the bullseye, the bullseye. And so I know that I just got to get the reps in, so that I can see. Like I wanted to make sure I wanted to do photo, and it was like, I don't know. And we were in Guatemala, and I was like, dude, I freaking love this. I didn't take a video clip the whole time I was there, and the photos are awesome. And I was using my A7S3, and there's 12 megapixels, and it's just like, who cares?
Yeah.
People don't care. And so then I was like, okay, I got to get the A7 IV, and I bought it because someone paid a deposit for an actual wedding. Been using it, and I was like, well, that's better. And there's just something about that journey to me that I'm cool with. So if I'm you in your situation, it's like if you just freaking love photo, then just do it. Um,
That was what
People
I
that
was feeling.
take action, like, and if you hate it in 2 months, just take it off. You're not that big of a deal. That's how I feel about
Right.
somebody. It's like, who cares? Like, I'll fix it then. Um, and I may get in and this year and be like, oh my God, I've got 8 weddings and I hate photo. It's like, okay, well, I'll do them. It's not like I'm performing brain surgery. Like it might be hard work, but I mean, I just look at all the people around me that get paid, even 30 or $40 an hour for a solid job. And I'm like, I just made $1,000 for 3 hours on a Saturday. Like I can't complain. Like the gratitude side of things is there, and then I've just been really motivated by the audience, the How to Film Weddings people, and how many messages like Hallie's that I've gotten where it's just like, oh, this is helpful for people too. So I like that side of it. But I would say, dude, figure out how to be the most attractive version of yourself on the internet, not sexually attractive, which is easy, of course, guys like us. No, but like visually appealing to your ideal buyer. And just like I'm mixing in every 3 or 4 posts, footage or photos of me looking like, I mean, I love the way I look in the clip in Guatemala, like me walking into the ancient ruins with Nick filming a shot of me from the gimbal behind and just like been digging the One Republic song that I put on it. And it's like, I love this. I don't care if it, I love the way this looks. I can't wait to get this on my website. And that's what I've always just kind of been afraid of. It's like, well, people might think I'm pretentious or people might, and I'm like, I don't care. I want to do things that make me really excited. And the more I lean into that, the more followers I lose that don't like that. And I don't care the count on my follower account. I just care that the right people are reaching out. And so that's the whole mindset shift that I've had is just like get hungry. Like my kids are in an age right now too where it's like I can go somewhere and it's not like a detriment to my wife to have to like watch them while I'm gone. And so things just have lined up for me to be able to like, hey, babe, I'm gonna probably end up shooting 20 weddings this year. It's like, great. Go bring home the bacon. Let's do it.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah. Anybody else have any other questions for what I've been up to or how or anything about anything really? I'm kind of
Well,
in
for me, I mean, it's not a question. It's more like, I mean, when I first started going to how to film weddings was because I really wanted to learn how to the technical parts and, learn the tricks, put it in one way, and seeing you and seeing how vulnerable you are, and how real you are with what you do. I think it's more inspiring than anything else.
dude, you can make me cry.
Uh, Not real, but I remember when I first started the program, I told my friends, and they were telling me, "Oh, but how many weddings do they shoot?" And I'm like, I don't know. And now you were saying that you only shoot like I don't know. Oh, Nick was saying that he shot only like a couple weddings this year. So it's like, oh, they're predicating, but they're not doing the work. It's not. They're just talking. And when I see you doing all this, being so open and honest about it and seeing how it actually everything works if you put the effort, um, is very inspiring. And, you know,
Mm. Well,
thank you.
thanks.
Thank you for doing this.
Dude, you can make me cry. Yeah, it's been a very like we just got to a spot like because the way How to Film Weddings works, it's like if the market is hurting, people can't pay for stuff we offer as much. And so I'm just forecasting all the time, like, we're good now, but what's going to happen in December or January, February, or whatever. And in July, it was just like, man, if things keep going how they're going, we're going to have way less revenue in 25 because people are just like, I can't even spend $200 on anything. And it's like, oh my gosh, what do we do? And so part of it for me was like, I'm hedging because I need money. If How to Film Weddings isn't making money, like I know that I can make a lot of money doing weddings. Um, and so I just knew I needed to get to a place where it's just like, because after you guys graduate Mastermind, I will, we'll have a few weeks and then we'll start promoting next year's Mastermind. And, if nobody signs up for it, it's a large portion of my income is Mastermind. And so things have shifted a lot due to the market shifting, which is making me very optimistic about just another great year with Mastermind. But um, so that started like this chain reaction of um, work that you guys can see because I'm a hard worker and put in so many hours more than I ever have for How to Film Weddings than anyone will ever know. And that's not a flex. That's just the truth. But when you guys can see what I'm doing on the wedding video side of things, and you're like, oh, he's doing the things he said. Okay, he's doing like it feels like I had gotten away from that because of all the extra effort. Like it to write one mastermind presentation is an 8 to 16 hour thing to like you wouldn't think it because it's just like, oh, it's just two doofuses reading off of the presentation. But it's like I'm gathering statistics and I'm organizing the curriculum and the order of it and fine tuning it and running it by people and then practicing it and showing it and building all this stuff. And it's just like, well, no one's really seeing all that work or whatever. And so, and I'm motivated by people seeing like the achievements that I'm like, it's motivating to me. I can't help it. There's people being like, dude, you're killing it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll keep killing it, even though I don't know you. But it is weird being in my position because I don't know how to create content that isn't just completely honest and real. Like I'm not coming in here with notes saying like, okay, this is how I'm going to communicate what's going on. I'm coming in here saying, I'm just communicating what's going on. I don't care if it's popular or not. This is just what's going on with me. And that's the only way I know how to be real. So anyway, I'm going to keep doing as much as I can. I really want to book maybe another 5 or 6 really solid weddings for video or photo or both. And I'm excited to keep sharing that journey and giving you guys feedback on it. I've started feeling feelings and I know people hate HoneyBook right now, but whenever I see the yellow and black notification on my phone, the dopamine release is just, it's palpable. Like I will go into my phone and I will literally just like slide down, where you can like see your apps at the top and like HoneyBook shows up now. And every time I see it, I'm just like, oh yeah, there it is. Just because now it's become like you just received a payment. Like someone made a $5,000 payment right before we got on today. And I'm just like, oh yeah, yes, let's freaking go. Like so anyway, the reason I'm the most excited is because I'm being the most true version of myself in creativity. I started doing video because I had to. I've started doing photo because I want to. Along the way, I learned that video is something I want to be doing and I enjoy doing, but I had to do it. And I don't like being told I have to do something. I can't stand it. I can't stand someone saying, you're not going to have money for that, or you can't go to that. And it's like, yes, I can. Don't tell me what I can't do. I will do it just to prove you wrong. And so this fresh thing of like, I want to do photo. I don't care if people think my photos suck. Some people will think they're good. I know how easy photo is, and I'm exposing all you freaking photographers out there. It's too easy, especially if you have already, like I've been to 600 weddings. I've worked with way more photographers than any photographer in the world. Like, it's just true. They can be dramatic. Like, it's just funny that I hired, like I've done mentor sessions, like I've hired other photographers, like tell me what you're doing, how you're doing it. Like I'm digging in, and Hallie, I might want to do the same with you and be like, hey, let me pick your brain on what you're doing. But like when I first started video, I was too proud to ask people questions or to do education or anything like that. And it's like, nope, I'm practicing what I preach. I bought Caitlin James' photo course. Learned her editing course. I'm buying her posing course next. I'm looking at Vanessa Joy. I'm looking at all these different people anyway, it's been this rejuvenating thing that then has caused so much better content for what I'm producing for How to Film Weddings. And so it's getting back to this cycle of excitement where just been since COVID, just been freaking weird. I don't know. It's been like 3 or 4 years of just like, what the heck is going on? So,
all right. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the podcast. I hope that this info was helpful. I know it's a little bit different format than we're used to, especially if you're watching it video on YouTube with everyone on screen and that kind of stuff. But it was good information, and I think it could really, really help you in your business. So again, if you are interested in learning more about Mastermind and what that's going to look like moving into 2025, 2025, make sure you join the waitlist. Head over to howtofilmweddings.com/mastermind to sign up and learn more about it over there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, we will see ya.